Right, folks, it's time for the next man in the van. I lose track of I think we're up to 10. Either way, it doesn't matter on the number, or we'll sort that out afterwards. I'm sat in the parking at the Motocross of Nations. I've just broke away from the paddock up there. It's going to be epic tomorrow. The atmosphere is so good already. It's absolutely bumping it up there in the paddock. Racing's just finished. It's been an interesting day, to say the least. So I thought I'd do a man in the van update, summarise the day, Saturday, here at the Motocross of Nations at Assen. While simultaneously trying to eat some pistachio nuts, because quite frankly, I'm Hank Marvin. So straight away, if I start spitting them all over the screen, I apologise. Could do with a beer with these, to be honest. So we're working away. Nuno is in the back of the van, processing pictures. Nuno, you in there? He's in there. So he's back there doing all the photos. He's been snapping away. It's all been good. So right, sorry for my eating habits being on this, but I need some energy. Right, let's get down to it. So to summarise the day, where do we start? I'm going to start with, I haven't got it in my teeth, have I? I'm going to start with Justin Cooper. I just think he's been really strong today. And I don't think it's a surprise. A lot of people might be, but it wasn't for me. You know, riding in the East Coast, he's learned to sort of ride in the sand a bit. Not this sand, but I think a whole year with Cincerello back home and all that kind of stuff, he's come into it, and yeah, he was strong, like really strong. He got the start. That bike is a ripper, but he's making it work, and he looked completely comfortable out front. So listen, America are in this, and anybody who's ruled him out, I know tomorrow is going to be different conditions and all that kind of stuff, but you know they're strong, and his results alone can drag them forward and give them a load of extra impetus with Anderson and Osborne, who I wouldn't say struggled. They were sort of there without, but they've obviously got to work a few more things out. But you know, they're all pretty good starters, so that could be interesting. I think they're still in with a shout. It's sort of shaping up to be straight away, as it always does. It's a bit tighter this year. I think there's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 teams that can do it. I was really pleasantly surprised with Australia. I thought they were really good. They're 2 young guns, Carl Webster in particular and Regan Duffy, but Carl Webster in that MX2 class was dynamite, on fire. I mean, he looked really good doing it as well. So the Aussies are turning out another good couple of riders, it seems, in those sandy conditions, and they're not out of it. One stretch they were really strong. On the flip side, France, I just see this, what I'm wearing here. If they make it on a podium, I won't say eat my hat, because obviously I won't be able to digest it, but I'll give it a good chewing, because I just cannot see them keeping this streak going, and I think it's going to be really hard for them to make the box. You know, Maxime Renault was good and solid, as was Tixier, but Gaultier didn't look his normal self, but he always steps up to the plate. But I honestly think it's a step too far this year for those guys. Belgium, they looked really strong. The old man Strybos still at it. You know, I mean, he looked absolutely solid in that final open moto. Whether he can stretch it out, and he's got the stamina to go over 2 motos in tough conditions, tomorrow will tell. But he has got bags of experience, and Van Horbik looked right at it as well. Geertz with a better start, I think, can be right in it. So they're definite podium contenders. This is all my opinion, of course. You can disagree with it, and I'm sure you will. What else was going on? Dylan Walsh, I was very impressed with him. He was looking good. You know, bearing in mind that he wants to go and do MX2 racing last year. He made a very good account of himself in 7th position. You know, he's a gutsy, determined rider, plenty of style and aggression. So I think he's going to be a good bet, or a good contender in MX2 next year. These pistachios are absolutely lovely. Oh, where was we? Yeah, and then that gets us down to the Brits. So I think the guys are quietly confident. It didn't go their way at all, regards of little hiccups here along the way. But after speaking to all of them, it's kind of like, look, do you know what? That's okay. Let's get that kind of bad luck out of the way. You know, today or whatever. There was mistakes and incidents that happened, but overall their speed and stamina towards the end of the race bodes well. And you know, yeah, with the weather turning, because we're obviously talking about that, I've done enough interviews throughout the day with the lads, hopefully you've been watching them, but the weather forecast, I've just checked again, is still looking like it's going to be terrible. It's now just gone 6 o'clock here. It's going to start raining. In fact, as I look out of the van window, it is really starting to get dark over there, and it's going to keep raining all the way through. But the heavy stuff, it's going to rain all night. Heavy stuff comes in at about 6 in the morning all the way up to 12. So practice warm-up tomorrow is going to be interesting. But after speaking to all the lads, they are really confident about the conditions, because they've ridden enough races, all these guys, Nathan, Sean, Adam, in heavy going. So they got, I know there's a load of other riders as well, but what I'm saying is the guys seem to be almost wanting it to rain. Of course, a lot can happen with the bikes and stuff, but from a rider's point of view and perspective, the Brit team are genuinely, Team GB are excited that the rain's coming, and let's just hope that goes their way and they can put it on the box. So the weather's going to play a huge part. There's no doubt about that tomorrow. Bikes were steaming up a little bit today. It's going to be harder going tomorrow, so that's going to be cool. The atmosphere here is, as always, brilliant. Now, we can bang on about the track and how it's not an old school track and we're at this modern facility and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and there's always an argument to that. But there's one thing about this event that will just, it doesn't matter. The atmosphere, the crowd, the fans, I don't care where this event ever goes, it will always be epic, because it's so unpredictable. No matter how good the riders are out there and what they can do, anything goes, anything happens. Obviously Holland are favourites, but there's still so much work to do. Tomorrow, it's a big thing for them. Home event, they got the king of the country coming. Big deal. They're pros, there's a lot of pressure on them, but if you look at today's, you know, they just got off to a bit of a shaky start, Colden off a little slip off. So they know they can't be like complacent with it. They've got to really do what they've got to do to try and win this thing, and the pressure's on them. So with the bad conditions, they know that their concentration levels will have to be so high. But of course, they've got the hometown advantage. Already in that grandstand today, it was going nuts every time any of the guys came along and went past. So the atmosphere is going to be absolutely brilliant tomorrow. It's going to be lashing down like a good old festival. You know, people will just embrace the weather, deal with it. They won't care. There'll be people rolling around, not so much in the mud, because we're at the hard pack circuit. You know, got hard standing and all that. But you know, you're still going to find a few fans rolling around in mud in the campsite and whatnot. So it's going to be great. And that's it. Predictions. I obviously went with earlier on the week that Holland led with the heart, GB for second, America third. Have I changed that? I think I probably have a little bit. I'm still putting us for second, but third, I think the Belgians are looking strong. So I'm going with the heart over there. Come on, GB, you can do it. You know, beyond beating Holland, it's going to be a tough ask, but who knows? So that's the beauty of it. And that's it. I'll stop it there while I stuff my fat face. Yeah, everybody have a great evening wherever you are in the world. And tomorrow, buckle in, because it's going to be a wild old ride. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. More reports and updates, certainly on Team GB. I'll be following them around and doing that. And I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll catch up tomorrow. So until then, everybody take care. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Over and out.